Have you ever boarded a flight thinking it would just be another ordinary trip home? Now imagine that same flight ending in a nightmare in seconds. On a cold February evening, a Boeing 737-800 carrying 183 souls prepared for landing in Istanbul. But what unfolded next was a sequence so terrifying that it left the aviation world in shock. This is the story of Pegasus Airlines Flight 2193, the day a routine domestic flight turned into a scene of chaos and tragedy. Welcome to Aviation Archives. The sky is never silent here. If you're passionate about true aviation stories, disasters, and survival, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you never miss a flight like this one. It was February 5th, 2020. Pegasus Airlines Flight 2193 was on a routine domestic route from Izmir to Istanbul. The aircraft, a Boeing 737-800. It had flown countless routes before, but on this day, something was different. As the flight approached Sabiha Gökçen International Airport, weather conditions were deteriorating. Rain slicked the runway, crosswinds buffeted the aircraft, yet air traffic control cleared the jet for landing. What happened next lasted only seconds, yet left a mark forever. The aircraft touched down too far along the runway, beyond the ideal touchdown zone. It was coming in too fast. The runway, wet from rain, offered little grip. The plane was skidding. Passengers felt the brakes engage violently. Then, with a sickening jolt, the Boeing veered sharply off the runway. The aircraft broke through a barrier and plummeted down a steep 30-foot embankment. The fuselage shattered into 3 separate pieces. Screams pierced the night as debris flew across the field. Fire and rescue rushed to the scene. Of the 183 on board, 3 people tragically lost their lives. Over 179 others were injured, some critically. But perhaps most chilling, this wasn't the first time something like this had happened. Just a month prior, another Pegasus Airlines aircraft had also skidded off the same airport's runway. That flight had no fatalities, but it was a chilling warning that went unheeded. The final report pointed to several contributing factors: excessive landing speed, poor weather conditions, and the delayed deployment of reverse thrust. All this, combined with a wet runway, created the perfect storm. But here's where the story goes deeper. This wasn't just an aviation accident, it was a wake-up call to airlines, to pilots, to aviation authorities. Human factors, weather, and runway conditions combined to create a deadly scenario. But could it have been prevented? Since the crash, Pegasus Airlines has implemented stricter landing protocols, and authorities have re-evaluated how wet runways are assessed and maintained in Turkey. For families of those affected, it's not enough, but it's a start. Let this tragedy remind us, aviation is built on precision. One miscalculation, one late decision, and lives hang in the balance. Now let us hear from you. What do you think needs to change to prevent future disasters like this one? Should airlines reroute in bad weather more often? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We read every one. And if this story moved you, do one thing right now. Tap the like button, subscribe to Aviation Archives, and join our mission to uncover aviation's untold stories. Because every flight number has a story, and some change history forever. Thanks for flying with us. Until next time, stay safe, stay curious, and always listen to the skies.